few days ago, I was looking back at some of my old videos and I realised I could have done so better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to post 3 videos going over 3 ARGs that I believe I could have done better at solving. Starting off with my very first ARG that I've ever covered, XXD Gamerman XXD. And at the end of the video, I will compare my old Fury to my new one. So let's get into video 1, titled Minecraft 1.17 Survival. The video starts off with the player creating a new world and doing the usual, collect wood, kill mobs and wander about. There are a few things I would like to point out. First off, when he breaks down a birch tree, he somehow gets an oak log. When he kills a sheep, a pig noise plays. And also, the strangest thing of all is it's weirdly comfortable. I don't know if it's the music or what, but when I'm watching, it doesn't seem like I'm watching ARG. More like a kid actually playing Minecraft. If I can describe that, I'd say it's one of those dream core images, you know? Where the image feels almost nostalgic, but you know something's off. I just also should put out there that way more into the video, the screen turns black for a second, and you will see this happen a few more times. And the player seems to notice, as he turns around when it happens. After he wanders about, strangely turns to night. The word strangely turns to night, and the words good night appear. He skips the night, and the video cuts. When it comes back, the player has found ancient debris. When he breaks it, an orange wool block drops. The player finds a spot to build a shelter. He notices at school that he managed to get the new update early. A few seconds later, he gets struck by lightning, then goes back to his base. They click near a base and a coded message pops up, which translates you get, "This world isn't yours." Afterwards, he looks at his base and sees that one of the blocks was replaced by yellow wool. He breaks it and the video ends. In the description is a coded message that once decoded gives you the voice, the feelings, I can't handle it, let me go. Now if you've seen my original content, you would know that I used to give my theories through a pinboard, so I thought I might as well make one for these videos. So first off, the player's world is definitely corrupted by something, and it is trying to get the player to leave. But why is it so desperate to get the player to leave? The thing that is messaging the player, could it be trapped inside the world? And is the corruption going to get any more worse? To find out, we must move on to video 2, titled More Blocks. The video starts off with the audio being in reverse. It is now covered with random blocks and the tone of the video has completely shifted. At first you feel comfortable. He finds a pillar of Neverwart leading upwards. He comments on how none of this makes any sense. He goes back to his base to find his bed is missing. As the player walks around, he gets teleported and falls to his death. Now we don't find out much since there is nothing in the description, but we do find is that the corruption is getting way worse, and we are left wondering what will happen if it gets any more worse. Will Gamerman even be recognisable? Will Gamerman's world be even more recognisable? To find out, we must move on to video 3, titled Texture Glitch. The video starts off with everything looking odd. Blocks, missing textures, weird structures that don't normally spawn, and the strangest of them all is all weird noises play. He enters the structure and he finds something that scares him to his core. He tries to run, but when he does, his world gets more and more corrupt before the video ends. Now, the corruption has gotten way much worse, and we can tell that the player can't handle it anymore. This raises a question, why doesn't the player just quit the game? I mean, the world is trying to get him to leave, but he just doesn't listen. Here is where my next fear comes in. It's not the world that's the problem, it's his game. Because as we know, he has installed a new update, which should not be possible to get access at the time when he is recording this. If something was in the update that ended up releasing something to the player's game, which raises the question, why Gamerman? Out of everyone, why him? But we must move on to video 4, titled Way to Send Signals. The video starts off with the player saying that he managed to stop the glitches, but not even a few seconds later, random blocks starts to appear. He realises that he can't escape the glitches. No matter how far he runs, he can't escape them. He tells us that he's going to report this world to the devs so that they can delete it. Which brings up a question, why can't he just delete the world? He talks about how he needs to build up so he can signal, which why can't he just send through text? Then he proceeds to build upwards to, I guess, send a signal. Once he finishes building the pillar, he proceeds to throw himself off of it, and the video ends. Now we learn that the glitches can be stopped, but only for a little amount of time. We also learn that he can't delete the world, and this brings up to my next theory, and it is that he can't leave the server. Something is preventing him from leaving, but what it is, we just have to find out in video 5, titled Grave in the Sky. The video starts off with Gamerman on a sky platform. He walks down a path which leads to what he thinks is a grave. On the gravestone is a coded message that, once decoded, gives you, "This is the only way out." Also, whenever he speaks, the camera zooms in into the text. The words, "You are part of the world already." He's freaked out by this. Before the text says, "Deleting the world might delete you." He asks who is this thing messing with him. The player proceeds to send a bug report and deletes the world. He ends up being trapped inside a box. The text, "You are free," shows before the camera slowly pulls away from a cloud. Before the video ends, a coded message appears. Once translates gives us, "It may seem scary or sad, but your soul will be free forever." Now we get a lot of information. First off, what happened to Gamerman? And I believe that the theory of him somehow being trapped inside of the game is true. Now we do have another theory on what is messaging him, but I want to save it for the end, so stay tuned for that. Anyway, we must move on to video 6, titled 606. Now in this movie, it's short but creepy, so I'm just going to play it for all of you. Be prepared.
He wasn't able to handle things properly anymore. No one knows what happened to him, but he vanished from the house after loud noise coming from upstairs. No one will ever find him. Oh my.
Now as you just saw, the thing that was talking was probably killed Gamerman. And if that is true, what happened to Gamerman? Now with only 2 videos left, how will this end? Video 7, titled Trapped Soul, and a bunch of numbers. The video starts off with Gamerman on that cloud that we saw in Grave in the Sky. He wonders where he is before following a path to a skyland. Text appears saying, "I know you want to be alive again." This proves that Gamerman died. But what to? More text appears saying, "Just do the thing you think is the right one." He jumps down the hole in the ground before the video ends. Description says, "Another trapped soul. Well, well, well." Now, the theory is that I have is starting to sound very possible, but we will have 1 video left, so let's end this. Video 8, titled Freedom.mp4. The video starts off with someone waking up in the garden. They stand up and say, "I did it," before the video ends.
I did it.
Now, that is the end of the video. And sure, there wasn't much, but you need to trust me. I have an idea on what this ARG is. And before I say this, you're either going to find me mad or find me to be a genius. So here's what I believe. I believe that there are 2 entities, one good that is trying to help Gamerman, and one bad that is trying to kill him. And these were the things... And this is where things start to make me sound a little bit mad, but I believe that a good entity is a godlike being trying to help out Gamerman, while the other one is a bad one, kind of like a demon trying to kill him. And we see that the demon was successful, but we know that Gamerman wasn't the first victim, because as we know, Gamerman is one of the billions of people that has been tricked into that. The demon, which has gotten way more victims tricked by what they think is a new Minecraft update, just by opening their update.
Their fate is sealed.
However, the good entity managed to save one of them, that being Gamerman. So I probably missed some important things out, but besides from that, this is my theory. Anyway, time to compare. So in my original video, I said that Gamerman made a deal with the entity and ended up coming back to life, but in doing so, he had to delete his game. Now, looking back on this, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever, but that was a year ago and I have gotten a lot of it better, to be honest. I will probably look back on this video too and think I was so stupid, but I don't really care. Anyway, with that being said, goodbye.